What's going on? Psych Perspectives, GeoFucks in the building. Go Blue. And I'm talking about this because it happened in my hometown and it's sad. So, in Flint, Michigan, USA, we have the Burston Fieldhouse, which is located on the north side of Flint, Michigan, in the predominantly African-American area, black area. Flint, Michigan is predominantly African-American black, okay? And it's also a working class, working poor city. Didn't used to be like this, but we were always working class, but we were blue collar and had the ability to be in the middle class because of General Motors, GM, and at the time, GM paid a living wage and offered benefits like 401ks and pensions and healthcare. So people used to be able to provide for themselves and their families so well that they were able to save for retirement, college, buy multiple houses, start businesses, get into the middle class. That is not the case anymore. But anyways, so fast forward to 2020. The Burston Fieldhouse is historical because it was the first recreational center, rec center, that opened their doors to African Americans, to black people in the 20s and 30s, or I should say to the late 20s, 30s, in Flint, Michigan. Even though Michigan, is in the Midwest and never had slavery, but racism, white supremacy, Jim Crow is a countrywide, worldwide, global issue. Okay? Anyways, so it was the first rec place where, black people could go to. And it was on the north side of Flint. Still is on the north side of Flint. Anyways, they have spent thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars renovating the Burston Fieldhouse, over the past 5-6 years, to restore it, and to continue to have it open. A lot of people go there for boxing. When you think about Clarissa Shields, the great Clarissa Shields, two-time Olympic gold medalist, boxing phenom, superhero, doing her thing, fighting out of Flint, Michigan. And she started at the Burston Fieldhouse, when you think about it, okay? And that's just to name one, because there's many greats in Flint who have started out at Burston Fieldhouse, okay? So anyways, I'm saying all of this to say they renovated the basketball court, got grants, block grants, fundraisers, etc., and they renovated the basketball court only for it to be destroyed and vandalized. And it's horrible and distasteful. And it's like, seriously, people complain day in and day out about what is not being done in the community, what the black community doesn't have, what Flint doesn't have, what the north side doesn't have. But then when people put money and time and energy into Flint, into the north side, into the black community, people go and destroy it. People go and vandalize it. And it's like, what is this? I don't know if this is an inside job, if this was done in spite of the county commissioner, Brian Nolden, over on that side of the town. I don't know if people did this to be petty or who did it. It could be an inside job. I don't know, but I do know this. This is ridiculous. And once again, this just proves my point. Like, this is why nobody wants to invest in Flint. This is why nobody wants to invest with the north side. This is why nobody wants to invest with black folks. Because every time things like this happen, and this is happening over and over and over and over again. This is not an isolated incident. People put so much time and energy into giving back and sharing the wealth and sharing support and resources just for it to be destroyed and vandalized and disrespected and desecrated. It gets really old really quick. And it's like, and I'm going to say this because I don't agree with everything Monty Woodgrain says and does, but there are points that I'm in full support of. Black people, we are our own worst enemies. Just being real. You know, yes, racism, white supremacy, classism, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, misogyny. Yes, oppression plays a role. Yes, there's systemic issues at play. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. I'm not saying that classism doesn't exist. Yes, it's hard out here. Okay? Discrimination is real. Oppression is real. But guess what? Guess what? So is lack of accountability. So is lack of responsibility. Because oftentimes, it's a double-edged sword when it comes to our communities. We don't have things because of systemic oppression. But then we also don't have things because people are lazy. And people don't want to do better for themselves. People want to play victim 24/7. And every time you try to hold us accountable, here comes the slew of excuses for why we don't have A, B, C, and D. Nobody ever wants to look in the mirror. Sometimes some of our issues are directly related to our behaviors. But y'all don't want to do that. So now you got this basketball court that was meant to be for the children on the north side, the children of Flint, black children, working class, working poor children, Flint children. Now they can't use the basketball court that just got renovated, thousands of dollars put into it because somebody came and vandalized it and destroyed it. What's the purpose? Why do shit like that? Why? You know, we are our own worst enemies.